Curious about the price of a Magic Online card? Try our searchable price guide on the right sidebar of any mtgoacademy.com page.
Well, everybody. The first Classic Daily event of the post-restriction Classic season has just fired, and we are here for round one. I have wished my opponent Call Me Dragon good luck, and I will be playing first. So as, a zero lander. We'll be mulliganing that. And I think we'll be keeping this, even though it isn't ideal. So we won't mull this. Will our opponent mulligan? No. All right. So the question is how exactly I want to do this on turn one, because I could drop a Tree of Tales and a Mana Vault into Birthing Pod. That seems really bad. I think what I'm going to do is play the Workshop, play the Silvermere. My opponent will probably just think I'm playing a bad deck, which, is by and large true. We'll see if this resolves. I bet it won't. Nope, it did. So we could drop the Birthing Pod right now, but I would have just dropped it anyway. So we're going to pass. Having this awkward Zealous Conscripts here is not the best, admittedly. There's a library. That's no good. So we can pod into a 3-drop, which can take us into a 4-drop. So we could go to Summoner's Egg. We might not have enough mana for that. Maybe I go to Palladium Mirror. Okay, I'll just go ahead here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's quite a bit of mana. 3 for the pod, 2 for 2 activations. So we should have enough to hit. Assuming that the Birthing Pod resolves. But we've got 2 now, which is great. So let's think here. Workshop is 3, 6, 7. 3, 4, 5. And then we've got this. So basically we have 8. Now, if I play the pod, that's 3. So pod comes down. Let's say it resolves. Then I tap the Silvermere and crack it into a Deceiver Exarch, untapping the pod. This puts me at 16. The problem is the Zealous Conscripts is in my hand, which is super awkward. Like, I can turn this into a Lodestone Golem, I think. Maybe that's what I should do here. I bet it is. So I'm going to play this, and then we will play the Birthing Pod and see what happens. What's interesting is we actually would have another shot here because I can pay this. I am not going to pay the... Should I pay the extra life? That's a good question. I don't think so. So I'm going to... Well, no, because I'd rather not tap the Mana Vault if I can avoid it. So I'm going to sack this. So we're paying a lot of life here, admittedly. We'll find a Deceiver Exarch. I'm going to untap this. And then we're going to sack this. And we're going to basically cheat around the whole restriction that just happened. So that's cool. He'll be drawing some cards, but we should be able to race it. And he'll be drawing a lot of cards. Alright, so we don't have to pay life with this. Let's hope we draw something good here. That's awesome. It has the potential to accelerate our clock, but probably not. It's an interesting option here. So I can turn... I might be able to make a Frost Titan here. What I would do to make a Frost Titan, I have to cast the other Birthing Pod and activate it. And I should figure out whether I'm going to do that now. I believe. Yeah, I think I should figure that out if that's going to resolve first. Because then I can, if I can get a Frost Titan out, I think that goes the whole way. Yeah, let's see if I can land this. All right. So then if I can crack the mana vault, I'd really still rather not do that if I can help it. So maybe I wait one more turn to get out the I wait one more turn to get out Frost Titan. Like if I hit for 6 with a Skull Clamp, which I can't do anymore. I should have waited till after combat, I think. So if I hit for 6 and then 7/7, that's exactly 20. I mean, he might have to crack a fetch land, so that's probably okay. So what I'll probably do is just crack the Skull Clamp after combat. I just don't want to find a Pith Driller, really. So, I mean, I could do that this turn, but that seems reasonably unimpressive. I'd rather keep the Lodestone out for now. I will play this then. This could get misstepped. That would be interesting, because bringing him down to 13 would be kind of key. All right. So next turn is when I'm going to do this. I'm going to equip, turn this into a Pith Driller, equip, sack it for a Frost Titan. That's the plan anyway. And he should at most only be able to cast one spell, I think. What I'd be most worried about is Vault Key, because he could just like play like a Lotus Petal, a Vault and a Key. Yeah, I mean that could, like, I don't want to lose to that. It could happen. All right, so here is where we untap. Okay, we're not going to take damage here. So I need to think before I do anything. Salvage Titan is super interesting right now. And just turn that into a Platinum Angel? That's not very exciting. But this wasn't a bad draw. It's just difficult for me to figure out how to manage it. Okay, so what happens if I do this? I can equip. We only have 4 available to actually use the Birthing Pods and equip. That should be okay. I can equip, crack, equip, crack. So I want to equip first. I'm going to go to 8 here. All right. This will, in theory, turn off a fetch land if he wants to live a turn beyond the next turn. I guess he's considering drawing cards here? Not sure. All right. So then I attack. All right. And I go to this main phase, and then I pay some life and sack this. Okay, so I draw the cards. Okay, we just found the Frost Titan. That's no good. That's like what we didn't want to happen there. But this is kind of interesting because now we have Summoner's Egg. Okay. So with Summoner's Egg, well, okay, first we have to find the stupid Pith Driller. Yeah, so be it. This is a 1/3. That's obviously not why we want that guy there. We're running into a problem here because there's this old Mishra's Workshop bug, and that's going to be a serious issue. Because unfortunately, the way that your mana works, like, there's no way for me in this circumstance to be able to ensure that I actually leave a non-workshop mana open. So, like, I want to do this and then play the Summoner's Egg. And that worked. Okay. I can't believe I drew the Frost Titan. That's so lame. He's got to counter this. I just assume he would. Okay, so he's going to draw a million cards. That's fine. And then I guess he's probably going to force this. No, he let it resolve. Okay. Yes, we will use this ability. If I do the Zealous Conscripts and kill this, that doesn't do much for me. So let's just put the Frost Titan in here. And then I think... The problem is I don't have another 5-drop because the conscripts are in my hand. So I would just be getting a Frost Titan here. But I think that that's worth it. Like, I think I have to do that. It just sucks that this is the state of things because I don't have another 5-drop. Let's tap that down. This keeps him from using fetch lands, and yeah, let's not find anything because we can't. So we deal 8 to him next turn, which is not nearly as much as I'd like to deal, because it gives him another turn to be able to win through Vault Key. I think. Maybe he doesn't have a way to win through Vault Key. See, there's a tension in this deck with Skull Clamp and Birthing Pod, because you don't want to draw a lot of the cards you have to pod into. And it's hard to figure out what to do and when. Like, sometimes you don't want to draw cards, which is abnormal. And we can turn this into a... Okay, well that's going to come into play tapped, so we can just keep this tapped. Artifacts, creatures, and enchantments. Alright, I think we can handle that. Huh. He'll have a lot of mana, though. So, this turn we're going to take 1. Maybe I should have just dropped this last turn. He's obviously not playing Force Will now that I know that. Yeah, so we're going to take damage from that. That's okay. Probably shouldn't have played it that way, honestly. I can turn this into a Platinum Angel. That seems pretty bad right now. Yeah, that seems pretty bad. This can become like a Worm Coil. That's also not great. I mean, Worm Coil is pretty good against Nev and Ural's Disc, though. So, like, maybe what I do is I allow... I mean, he could play, like, a Ratchet Bomb or something. Like, I might just rather keep his Soul Ring tapped. And then turn this into a Worm Coil. And... the problem is then he can activate a Mishra's Factory and block. No, that should be okay, because I have 2 Worm Coils. Okay, so I'm making something of a risky play here, admittedly. And I think the way I do it is this. I put... Do I actually do that? Maybe I just crack this and turn it into a Worm Coil. I have Massacre Worm too. That doesn't really feel very good right now. Certainly don't want to draw it, though. And I could also find a Platinum Angel, but that seems bad as well. So I do think I want to find a Worm Coil here, which means I can't equip, but that should be okay. Alright, so let's put him at 2. Then if they're Ancient Tombs, he can't use them. And what's going to seem weird about what I do here is that I don't tap the... No, that's got to be wrong. Yeah, I think that's got to be wrong. Let's go ahead and tap this. So we'll give him more mana. I guess he could win with Vault Key or something if he has both the cards. So that could have been an error. It's hard to say from my perspective. Now I think I equip probably the Pith Driller. And then I use Salvage Titan. Do I sack it and draw some cards? I think. That seems right to me. Okay, so we'll sack. Is this better than Worm Coiling? Probably not. Let's go ahead and... Oh, I can't Worm Coil now. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to say is I'm screwing this up a lot. Let's go ahead and sack this anyway. No worm coil this turn. And we'll sack these 3 artifacts, so we'll draw 2. Strip Mine is great. That's all I can say about that. We'll drop another Skull Clamp, and then we'll play the Strip Mine, and I pass the turn. Now the question is, do I kill this right now? I don't think I do. This gives him 6 mana, though, so maybe I kill the Mishra's Factory right now. Yeah, I probably do. Okay, I think I screwed up that turn big time, and it could have resulted in endgame. I mean, he's got 8 cards in his hand and 5 mana, so he could certainly do something either to just randomly win the game with Vault Key, or just hold on. Alright, looks like he's conceding. Okay, so we had a turn 5 win. I think I made some errors and some random stuff happen. Should I bring in Bane of Progress? I'd really like to, but I don't know if it can actually operate really well against... Like, I'm killing all my own stuff, so is this really good against the stuff that he's playing? I'm not sure it is. It can kill artifacts on the table, but I'm not sure if that's good. Like, we don't... Like, this can deal with... Yeah, let's bring that in and cut the Platinum Angel, because Platinum Angel isn't very strong against, like, Nevinyrral's Disc, but Elish Norn can at least neutralize some Mishra's Factories. Needlebug, maybe? I don't know what he's doing. Like, we didn't see anything crazy happen. Maybe I'll bring in the Bane of Progress instead of Massacre Worm? I don't know. I'm really not confident about that. And we can bring this in. Lodestone doesn't appear very good because we didn't see any colored spells, but it's still a 5/3. And I almost want to bring in another Zealous Conscripts just so I have an extra one. I don't have to draw both of them. So what I'm going to do now then is, let's cut, I'm never comfortable with this. Let's cut, this was fine last game. I think Pithing Needle is going to be really good. I don't necessarily think Birthing or Heap Doll is good, so let's cut that. And let's cut, I could cut a Salvage Titan or a Frogmite. I think I'm going to cut one of the Salvage Titans. I'm not sure. I'm going to experiment with Bane Progress. See how that goes. He's probably going to bring in Grafdigger's Cages, so cutting like the Massacre Worm seems decent. This is the only card here we cannot play for a while. I don't mind this stuff. The question is about Revoker, like what do I name with this? I am going to keep this hand, because I think the potential to be able to double Revoke is probably really valuable, and I also got a lot of ramp. Okay. Deceiver Exarch is not a very good draw there, honestly. So we don't know what our opponent's doing, which means playing Revoker right now is kind of awkward. Obviously playing the City of Traders is really awkward too. Like, I could drop a bunch of stuff this turn and go for like an aggro plan, because I could play Workshop and Crypt, and then go like Revoker Metamorph. I don't think that's very smart though. What I'm going to do is just play the Retriever, even though that's really horrible. Okay, so that was not an exciting start. I assumed my opponent had a library out, that he was playing some kind of miserable Oath deck. Instead, he's just playing a deck that draws a billion cards. So I wish that Revoker could do something, but unfortunately it doesn't appear like it's going to be able to right away. I'm going to play all these things, though. So, like, here's the question. Do I attack this guy first? Yes. And then I think... Like, he could play Null Rods, too. That's a possibility. I think what we do is we start going the aggro plan, which almost seems really silly to me. But here we go. So, Revoker. And what are the sorts of cards my opponent could be playing? We need to watch our clock, too, admittedly. I'm curious why he's thinking about responding. I didn't see anything. Nevinyrral's Disc, right? We want to find that. That's a possibility. And then we want to play the other one. Cool. And this one we'll name Time Vault. And then we will actually play another one. This seems... I'm not going to keep this. I'm going full on aggro plan. He's going to draw and see, I guess, if he can counter it. Okay, and we'll make another one. And I'm not sure what to name with this. I could name, like, Welder. Can't name Mishra's Factory. I mean, I can, but it's just named non-land card, so I guess I couldn't name it. Let's go ahead. We could name, like, Lotus Petal. That might make sense. We didn't see any colored land from him. So I could name... why don't we name, like, a huge... I could name a huge mana producer, or I could name Koldatha Forge Master. Yeah, let's name that. So this is a combo piece in some of these decks, and I'm wondering if he's playing a deck with that. I could be wrong. But essentially what I'm doing is I'm going the aggro plan. Oh my god, he is playing blue. Okay. Was not prepared for that. We want to draw a red source. Some way to cast... Damn it, I could have named Soul Ring. Which would have been nice in retrospect. I want to know what deck he's playing, because it looks cool. Okay, he did board in cages, which doesn't affect me so far this game. That's unfortunate. That's, you know, not awesome, but it's fine for now. We can then cast a Deceiver Exarch too, which certainly doesn't hurt. Alright. Well, we got all that damage in unimpeded, which is good. Okay, he's drawing. He might have Force of Will after all. We're going to pass. Now, so this is 7, 8 damage on the table. That's not really excellent. Might as well be 7 plus a Deceiver Exarch. That seems like the smarter play. Let's see what our opponent's going to do here. Crucible. Alright, so that's not going to affect us right now, though he's going to be able to Scalding Tarn infinite times. Yeah, we lost again. That's no good, but worse things have happened. This Wasteland has become pretty mediocre, but I think it's probably going to be worth playing here in a minute, even though he's in a situation with Crucible. Maybe I keep it in my hand so that I can eliminate a land on his turn. That makes more sense to me. So let's get in there with these guys, keeping our Deceiver Exarch mana open. Okay, so he's cracking to find something, I guess. Drawing a card. Maybe he has like a burn spell. Yeah. And so he's hitting the one with Nevinyrral's Disc. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, we're just going to roll with that for now. Okay. So he takes 5. The question is, do I play the Wasteland here? I think I do. No, I don't think I do. I think that's stupid. I could be wrong, but it seems stupid. So he's going to draw another card. His libraries are insane. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if he kills one of these, I don't have lethal, but if he cracks this land, I will, even if he kills one of these. So he might have like a Snapcaster or something. Just play the Scalding Tarn again. So if he cracks it, he goes to 5. That means he's not going to be playing another land this turn. Okay, Brainstorm. Yeah, I'm not going to do anything about that. So I guess I should have let off with a Revoker. Because right now he's got to bolt something again, right? It looks like he's going to have it. Okay, so he's bolting a Time Vault guy. I don't think I respond to that. But we can turn off his Scalding Tarn. And that is what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to tempt him to do that by tapping the Scalding Tarn right now. I think that makes the most sense. Could also tap a library and force him to act now. He's got to be thinking about the possibility of cracking a Scalding Tarn, bolting the Revoker, and then taking 4. He can't Snapcast a Bolt because he doesn't have the mana, because he needs 2 colored mana. Okay, he's forcing it. That's interesting. Pitching Standstill, that gives us some information. It also means that it's going to be hard to beat him, unfortunately. We need to win this flip. Okay, I think we've lost every flip. That Gaia's Cradle is interesting. Our current setup here, we have to hit him with all we've got. I'm going to sacrifice the City of Traders and blow this up. Okay, he F6'd. Essentially that was, like, I was just hoping I'd be able to pull something off there. Because if he'd cracked it in response, I would have just won. Maybe I should have just held on to it, because if he plays a Mishra's Factory and does some other stuff, I'll be in trouble. If I could just draw some red mana, I guess I'd be in good shape. I could play a Haster. He can't Force a Will right now either without leaving all this mana untapped. I feel like also if I made different decisions this game, I may have been able to win. Like if I let off with a Revoker, he'd be in a much worse position. Okay, his brainstorming right now tells me that he's kind of in a desperate space. He can't crack a fetch to shuffle, so that's basically like just seeing a couple cards. Playing that land allows him to force, but he's got to do something besides forcing in order to win. So force is essentially off for him. This means he isn't playing a Mishra's Factory. Okay, he's drawing another card. Jace. I don't think that does anything. He's probably going to Brainstorm. Okay, that's okay. We won the flip, finally. We'll play a Cradle. We'll attack not Jace, but Call Me Dragon. And then see what happens. And it looks like we got there. All right. So it was nice playing with my opponent, Call Me Dragon, and I like your deck, and I will see you guys for round 2.